Doriansrune.
What up, guppies? So today we're going to be talking a little bit about how I started my spiritual content creator journey and some tips that I feel would have been a little bit more beneficial for me to know before I even started. More like a heads up, because it's really not as easy as it seems. A lot of it has to do with dumb luck, because if I had not posted that glamour TikTok that really started me off, I don't think I would be here right now. And a lot of it is going to be up to the algorithm, because I could have honestly ended up on the worst side of TikTok filled with a bunch of toxic people. But luckily, I ended up in a very, very kind-hearted place on TikTok. And honestly, because of it, I managed to find my guppies and my people, That kind of starts us off at our first point, which is that you need to build your confidence. Because aside from knowing anything about the craft, it is such a different type of confidence needed in order to be posting consecutively every day, non-stop, and not just posting the same things but different things, and just keeping a good solid flow of everything that you're doing online. You have to remember that on the internet, people will form opinions, and they will not always be nice ones, and you're going to be judged. Keeping it real, you're going to be judged. You're going to be judged for everything you're doing. If you're a spiritual content creator, you're going to be judged based on what you believe in, based on your practice, what it looks like, how you're doing it, how you're explaining it. Every single little thing will be dissected and inspected by so many people. You need to grow the confidence and remember that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. But it's not as easy as it sounds, and I'm gonna be blunt with you guys. I, for the first few months, was not fully confident about what I was doing, and a lot of people had a lot of things to say, and slowly I started picking up on the pattern that no matter what I did, some people just weren't gonna be happy. And you gotta learn to build up that thick skin, because realistically, if you don't and you start off without building that confidence needed, you're gonna realize how more difficult the journey is gonna be. Not impossible, because nothing's impossible, but it becomes a lot more difficult. And that just bleeds into my second tip too, that you need to learn to balance the physical and the spiritual with the material. If you are posting, you are gonna notice that you become a lot more materialistic. And it's true. You're seeing all these people with different things that you want to also be showcasing and using. You want to keep up with the trends. You want to feel good. You want to show yourself and be perceived as, elevated. And you're gonna tap into the materialism of things too, aside from the physical. The physical being like your health, your body, your mind, and, the spiritual, which is keeping up with your offerings, your deities, if you work with deities, your protection spells. Trust me, you're gonna need protection spells. You're gonna need to learn to balance all three things. That was honestly one of my biggest struggles in the beginning. I did not know how to manage everything all at once, because you're thrown into this field with people who have had time in the community to grow, learn, grow the confidence, and it's gonna be intimidating. You're gonna see these big fish and you're gonna be shocked. I was shocked. I was like, wow, I really was not the only witch in the world. There's a lot of different people who practice a lot of different things with a lot of different standards. When you're opening a door, or a window better said, for people to see a glimpse of what you do, the chances of you becoming distracted and losing yourself just get higher. And you need to learn to balance everything. It's all about balance. You need to balance posting schedules. You need to balance your spiritual schedules, because without those schedules in place, everything just becomes so chaotic and messy and unorganized. And believe me, I spent 4 months in the beginning not knowing what the fuck I was doing. And I wouldn't say I'm like, oh my God, I'm like a professional content creator, because I'm really not. I'm still learning. I'm just telling you guys about how difficult the little journey in the beginning was, because right now I feel pretty confident in what I'm doing and how I'm posting, but I'm just barely getting onto the schedule part of everything. And that's that I've been on social media for about 7 months. So losing yourself can become so much more of a problem than anything else, because when you start losing, that connection to the spiritual aspect of it all, you can start seeing, things falling apart in the physical. If you don't take care of your spiritual stuff, you start, lacking in your physical. And if you can't balance anything, you start losing everything. And that is one of the worst things to do, climbing a ladder just to fall off, which is why you gotta, balance everything. I see a lot of content creators talk about, oh, you need to find your niche, you need to find, what aesthetic, and it's not about aesthetic, it's not about your niche. I feel like if you want to be a superficial content creator, then that's probably what you're gonna go for. But really showcases and allows you to be your most authentic self is to find something that you're genuinely passionate about and go with that. When you're genuinely passionate about something, the ideas, the creativity all just flow to you with so much ease, and everything just starts building up a lot quicker, a lot easier, because you're doing something that you genuinely feel passionate about, You're not putting up a front to create all this content. You're just genuinely showing people what you like and what you connect with, and that's how you start connecting with people a lot more, passing a superficial level. You are able to just understand and really find community, not just a follower count. It feels a lot more fulfilling to know that you have a community and not a number following you around. Like, that's crazy. You need to set short-term goals for yourself and long-term goals to make it a lot easier to navigate everything too, because you don't want to lose your drive. You don't want to lose passion for what you're doing because it becomes a job, so you need to set little goals and long-term goals to reach, to keep yourself motivated within your passion field. And don't be afraid to show different aspects of yourself, because we're people, we're not two-dimensional characters. We have layers to ourselves, we have different likings, we change, we're ever evolving. Another thing that is going to help you with your content journey is going to be having a good support system. That saying, it takes a village. I swear to you, I wouldn't have been able to get to where I'm at without my mom, without my sister, without my grandmother. I don't think I would be here. They've all have helped me on this journey. They've all been so supportive and patient with me, because it is a transition. It is a big change of lifestyle. You have to remember that when you're creating content and you build a community, you're no longer representing just yourself, but you're representing a bigger group of people. And you gotta make sure that you're representing them right, because then what do you have community for? It's not just, a self-serving thing. It's people giving you a voice, and you gotta learn to use it in the best way possible. And yes, you're not gonna be an expert at using your voice right away. You're really not. It takes time, it takes mistakes, it takes lessons that you gotta go through in order to use your voice to the fullest and to really grow into it. Because when you're given a voice, it can be scary. I know for a lot of people, a community of, like, let's say 1,000, right, is not that big. You're probably thinking there are people out there with 1 million. You're not that big of a creator. Babe, you cannot fit 1,000 people in your home. I can assure you that. And if you do, then hey, try 2,000. Like, literally, those numbers are not small. They look small on our screens, yeah, they do. But like, if you put that into perspective and try to visualize that number in a human, perspective, it is an insane amount of people. And you're not representing yourself anymore. You're representing all of those people. And you are going to have to go on a journey to learn to use your voice the right way. And you gotta be mindful. That's gonna be a big part, mindfulness. You gotta remember to stay humble, because when you're being elevated, it's easy to let it all get to your head. I've seen it a lot. I've seen it with a lot of people. It is a scary thing. And you gotta remember that staying down to earth is key to staying on top of your content creation. It really is. And it's gonna be the best way you're gonna stay connected with people and not get out of touch, because that is kind of scary too. A little tip from me though, try to keep some things secret, try to keep some things private, especially when it comes to your craft, because not everything is meant to be shared online, and not everything should be shared. And aside from your craft, it also means your personal life. You want to keep something private for yourself so that you have a safe space to go to whenever you feel overwhelmed, because it's an overwhelming sensation. There are days where I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's okay, I'm just gonna go make a TikTok. And there are other days where I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is my life. Like I am a content creator, and it wasn't even something that I thought was even possible. It's just something that is, and it is such a mind fuck. Honestly, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cuss, but it's insane at times. Like, to believe it is so surreal. Last thing I want to talk about and cover is about consistency and discipline, because consistency and discipline is going to work a lot harder than motivation is. I have times where I feel so unmotivated to film, and there are times where I am doing it and I'm like, I don't feel like doing this today. I don't want to be in front of a camera. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I look good. I don't want to be. And you start losing motivation. And when you start losing motivation, you start slowing down. And although the community will understand, the algorithm won't. So you have to stay consistent and disciplined with your work, because it's no longer just posting a video. It becomes a full-time job, literally time consuming, energy consuming. And if you're balancing content creation and spiritualism at the same time, you are going to experience a different type of drainage in your energy, physically, and it is insane. I had never ever in my life experienced the amount of crash outs that I've experienced doing this. And I'm growing, I'm learning to really manage my time, my energy, my connections, and everything. But it's a journey, and you gotta be patient with yourself on this journey. Don't rush into things. Take your time. Growth is not meant to happen overnight. It's supposed to take time. It's supposed to take energy. It's supposed to take, effort. And if you do stay consistent and disciplined with it, you're gonna see growth. You just have to keep posting, keep the content flowing, and remind yourself that this is now your job and your life blended into one thing. And it's not gonna be easy. But if you really want it, you're gonna find your own little rhythm of things. And that's honestly the best advice I can give you guys for now. I'm planning on updating this video once I'm in like maybe a year and a half into content creation, to give you guys like an update. But this is honestly the best advice that I can give you if you're starting off. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself to grow at your own pace. You're not in the competition with anybody else. Stop comparing yourself to someone who's had years in content creation. Stop comparing yourself to people who got so lucky that they blew up overnight. The journey is going to look different for everybody, and it's your own journey. Just like spirituality is your own journey, your own craft, it's the same thing with content creation. You got to find your own rhythm of things. And is it going to be a process? Yeah. Is it going to take long? Yeah, it's going to take immensely long. But the thing is, because the career field is so tied in with your life, it's something that never stops. You're gonna keep growing no matter what. You're gonna constantly grow and grow and grow. So you can't put yourself on the limit. Like, I need to get 1 million followers by this time. Because it's not about that. A window that's being placed in your life for other people to see and support you and grow with you with time. And if you rush that process, it's inauthentic. It isn't stable. Really think things through, build that confidence from within, and go for it. Do it. Stop holding back and just do it, dude. Real talk right now, just do it. Like, if you feel called to it, if you feel passionate about it, do it. And if you have some doubts, then work on building the confidence first, so that when you do come around to being ready and you're like, you know what, yes, I'm in it, you have that confidence as a pillar already, so that everything that you're building has a stable structure to even stand on. Anyways, guppies, I'm gonna cut off the video already here. I'm excited for the growth, because this journey has been crazy. It's been very, very, very crazy, and I'm so fortunate and I'm so grateful to have each and every one of you supporting me and showing me all the love that you guys do. It's something that I've never experienced before, and it's beautiful. Thank you, guppies, for giving me the opportunity to have a voice and for helping me build this community from the ground up, or from the ocean floor up. I love you, guppies. Bye.